Hello and welcome to tonight's live. Thank you, everyone that is going to join us and those that will watch the replay. It's another Thursday where we gather on this platform to discuss relationship and money, how they both affect each other or relate to each other, how money affects relationship or the joy that couples and families should experience, and how also the way they relate affects the way they relate with money and manage money. So today we have another interesting topic to talk about, and of course, I'm here again with my guest Uche, and we will be navigating around the things that couple should not do this year. We have been talking about the things that they should do for them to experience amazing relationship and also become financially independent and grow to financial freedom. Today, we are going to talk about the things that they should not do this year as we have entered 2025, the things that they shouldn't do. And we will start with one today and just dwell on it as we have a short time for this life, and another day next week we will carry on with some of the things that couples should really not attempt to do this year if they plan to experience joy in their relationships and growth in their finances. So let's hit the road. Please invite your friends, your family to come and join us and let us have this conversation. So, we know that a lot of families these days, a lot of couples, for different reasons, for a lot of circumstances they find themselves in, most of it is relational problems that they are experiencing. It is now too many cases that we see where couples, rather than become one, as we know, they say, or the word of God said, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Maybe sometimes we read it as human beings. What about those that other things are putting asunder, are coming in between and separating and making not to be united as they should be? So now a lot of things may be the reason. Either it is circumstances, situations, or just lack of knowledge and indiscipline, lack of self-control. Sometimes it could be third parties that will now be coming in between couples. And once that happens, then you will find some couples are now living, although they are under one roof, but they are living separate lives, living as though they are single. And what that means is that they are making decisions around money all by themselves without the consent or conversation with their spouses or with their family members. So today we are saying don't do that. And that's the center of today's conversation. So I am going to I've made an introduction, giving an example of what it should be, and I will continue before I go to my guest today. So, as you all know, Mr. Uche is also a relationship coach. He is actually a psychotherapist. He has knowledge in conflict management when it comes to families and relationships. He has acquired a lot of his verse in the knowledge of managing relationships. He had attained higher levels in the organization and body where he serves to be able to attend to all manner of situations that arises in families. And today we are here to learn from his bundle of knowledge so that we can all grow and create amazing relationships and financial freedom. So we are going to be tapping into his knowledge in a few minutes, but I'm just going to give a few examples of what it will be like, what when couples are disintegrated in and doing their finances separately, and the effects that it will cause is what we are going to discuss as we go along. So let's say, for instance, that a couple, they are living together, and then there is maybe a debt that one of them came into the relationship with. And so instead of maybe talking about that debt and deciding how they are going to proceed in paying off the debt, or which one will be done first, considering other projects that they may have and also their income. So maybe somebody will go ahead on their own without having the conversation and agreeing on what to do, and then maybe start paying off that debt, and it will be affecting other things they are supposed to do. Let's say it affected rent or a breakdown of a car and limited the movement of the other person. So if the party that was the other party now finds out that while he or she was going through this hardship, that it is that debt that is being paid, so you can imagine how he or she will feel. And it does not mean that paying off debt is a bad thing. It's just what it will bring that relationship to. That is the reason why we are saying don't live separate lives from today. In this 2025, if you have been doing it, you can tell that it's not working. And even if it's been working for a while, because your spouse hasn't found out, when they do, it's not going to go too well. Because even if they give you a feeling that it's okay, it's not always the truth. And you should actually worry about that, because there is no way that people want other people to feel like other people are riding over them or using them. So today, it will be better if you are coupled up, that you make sure that you take each other along and do things together rather than individually. That's what we want to say that we should not do this year. So I'm going to quickly pass on to our guest tonight so that we will hear from his expert knowledge, what maybe the kind of problems that come from doing these kind of things, relating differently, doing your own things, making decisions and carrying them out without discussing it as a couple and without the knowledge of the other person. You can say is kind of living with secrets or in secrecy, but it's kind of different. That's why I didn't want to call it that. So whether it's intentional or not intentional, the results are not always good. So we will hear from him now what he thinks regarding this matter. So over to you, Mr. Uche.
Thank you so much. That was a very elaborate introduction. Thank you. Right. What we are saying makes so much of a sense. If can you hear me clear?
Yes. Not so. The volume
Okay,
is
I'm going to
down, but
increase the volume from my
yes,
end so that you
please.
can hear me a little bit more. Is it better now?
Have you gone up
Yeah,
to the maximum?
is my volume is on the max now?
Okay, go on.
I'm
That's fine.
shouting down the roof.
Don't.
So what happened is it's a matter of sometimes when we look at these things, we really don't understand what exactly they are until when it starts rocking down the boat of relationship. And we all know that relationship has a very rocky boat originally, and to add something to that rocky boat makes it uneasy for the what do you call the guys who drive seller and passengers as well. Yeah, I like driving. I don't like driving. I only drive car, but I know what car drivers are called driver. But those who drive ship and aeroplane, sometimes I don't know what they are called. So if I call somebody driving a ship a driver, permit me, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what exactly they are called. So these are the things that rock relationship. And at some point, you learn to understand that it's something that has to be avoided. But one thing that that I would say in this particular instance is the fact that if you are trying to, let's call it financial infidelity, let's use the word financial infidelity. If you become financial infidel, just like other type of infidel, you are always at edge, right? Things happening, you want to make sure that every areas are covered. And that alone doesn't give peace of mind, relax state of mind within you yourself. And when you don't have that relaxed state of mind, it kind of rub into the relationship itself, because your state of mind is not stable. You are always at edge. Every little conversation about it puts you at edge, and you want to find a way to cover it up so that it doesn't get erupted, discovered. It involves so much of a work to do to keep up to that task. And that alone, it's not healthy, because to you doing that, you are struggling with maintaining that level you've kept things. But I'm trying to, in addition to that, you are now also adding it to the next person. And your partner, your spouse or wife, whatever language you prefer to call, may be someone who knows everything. Some knows everything, but they'll just shush and watch you look when it plays out. And when it plays out, they will now say, okay, I have an idea, but I allowed you to play all your cards so that when you come to your wit end, you can now say, you know, oh, to Jesus I surrender, or to him I freely give. When you surrender, then at that point you become helpless. So one of the area that is very silly about it is you are always at edge. And when you are at edge, it rubs off on almost everything you are doing at work, within the children, within the family. A lot of things wouldn't be smoother, because your mind is working more than it should to make sure that a lot of things are uncovered. And you could save yourself that hassle by allowing, becoming transparent and becoming fidel. That way, that could be a savior to that. I will leave that for now. If you have more, I can tell you others more. But I think the reason why I brought that the staying at edge first is because when you are at edge, you are tensed, and everything around you become tensed. When people are tense, it can lead to various types of sicknesses. And that alone, we live in a society that is so tensed already. Adding more to that isn't good, a good thing to do. And that is why I think that should be the first way to check out before we start talking about other things, because tensed life, tensed way of trying to cover things up will rub off on everything.
Thank you very much. That was great. Thank you. So we will be looking at some of the practical examples of the stress that can come out from financial infidelity. So, which means when people are hiding money and handling money separately and in the way that is going to eat up into the family's finances, so to say. So, because everybody is doing their own things, so usually there is less for family use, because definitely for whatever reason they are handling money separately is going to involve other things, other hobbies and other interests and other people that ordinarily, when it comes together, it will be kind of well managed. and everybody will be wanting to please some other things and other places, or get pleasure from where they should not, once in a while. And that, we know that practically most things that you run in this world, you do that with money. So if somebody's interest is wide, then that's how much they will be distributing money. And then
Yeah.
how much do they actually have in the first place for money to go here and there and everywhere? It may bring the family to a state where they cannot meet up with their financial needs. And this is one of the practical things that happen in families where people do not, the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing when it comes to money. There's always financial stress. And above all, they always have little to spend, and which brings much, much stress on that relationship. So it is one of the things that, if you are listening to us tonight, you should avoid to do if you're married. If you're not married, we will be giving you a different advice, because one of the advice will be that you make sure that you marry the right person. You don't have to deal with all of that if you're not married. But for those who are married, we are looking for solution and a way out, so that they can still experience joy in their relationships, and also end up or retire very, very comfortably in terms of finances. So that's what we are talking about. In case you are here and you want to say something, please use the comment section. We would like to hear your thoughts and what you think about this conversation. And if you have any experience, or someone you know had maybe experienced a lot of financial hardship because of financial infidelity, then please let us know. We can learn from that. We are all here to learn. So, talking about financial infidelity, are there other things that you think might be a result of financial infidelity? I mean, the consequences of financial infidelity, apart from them not having enough money to spend, apart from other maybe retiring poor and all the rest. Are there things that should cannot happen, which will affect the relationship, when it won't happen if they had taken precautions not to deal with money separately?
Okay.
Anything in your mind?
Yeah, if I get your question right, say, are there things that could be the reason for financial infidelity and the consequences when people are infidel in terms of their finances with their spouse?
Yeah, so we have talked about a
Okay,
few,
yeah,
and I have said that
yeah, I'll take some more.
it will cause poverty. It will cause a lot of financial stress, because every time there isn't enough to spend, even those that are 5 and 6 will start, staying apart, because it
You're
has
answering
a
my
way,
question now.
it has a way. So scarcity of funds or lack have a way of affecting the love that exists between couples, because that means they have come to a practical position in that relationship. It is no longer I love you, this one and that one. There is now the practical aspect of relating, and there are things to do. And most of the time, when someone is thinking that it's as a result of somebody else's fault, or maybe not being nice, or selfishness, they tend to their kind of anger tend to rise higher. They tend to be more stressed, because it's something they didn't plan. So both of them can't take the blame. It has to go to someone, and that someone will have reasons and probably be saying they didn't know. And then that's how the friction will start growing, until they will start experiencing Cold War, and then it will translate into doing more things without talking.
Okay.
because they are no longer in the state that it is easy to have conversation. So we know that that one is one. And not also being able to foot bills, especially when they have children, is another important point, or another reason not why you shouldn't do that this year. If there are more, we would like our viewers to know.
Yes, there are more, and a whole lot more. Let's talk about this. Start with, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. One of the things that happens about this, one of the consequences is it kills romance, right? It ditches romance. Whenever financial infidelity comes in through the door, romance will jump out from the window. And you know, sometimes when something jump out from the window, chances are that they will break their leg. And say, for example, if you see when the weather is okay, the birds, the chickens, they feel excited, they try to flap their wings and then make themselves look attractive to attract the hen, not the cock, the father cock. So if they don't feel exciting in that relationship, there are chances that they might not be willing to engage in sex. And
Okay.
if they do at all, it might be just to keep the person, just to keep the tempo of the marriage flowing. But that is not what anybody wants. So the real deal on it is it ditches romance. And I really wonder what relationship would thrive so much when there is no good romance on it. So because money, my mother-in-law says money is blood and blood is money. When money is not flowing the way it should flow, and it happens to be that one person is the reason behind that not flowing, then it becomes a problem. But if there is no money, and it's obvious to both partners that there's no money, they can do. They believe, well, they are poor, they can't do anything, they tried. The romance might still flow because it's not the man's fault that they don't have money. It's not the woman's fault that they don't have money as they should. But when there is money and it becomes that somebody decide to appropriate it in a not a good way, misappropriates, then it becomes a problem. And that is where it kills romance. The next I tend to say is that, you see, in most cases, somebody bring this particular conversation to say, I really needed to buy that particular handbag, but he believes it's too pricey for me to have it. And I really wanted that handbag. So what I will do is I will hide money and buy it. Now it comes to state where his brother said to his brother, do you know, brother, I really needed this handbag, but my partner really don't want me to have it because he believes it's expensive. But I have the money to buy it. Brother, are you able to buy it and give it to me as Christmas gift, as birthday gift? His brother collaborated with him, bought the handbag, and posted it to their house as Christmas gift. Now, what happened was, it has generally moved up from adding extra top of stuff on it, which is lies on top of it. Now it's your brother that bought it for you as a gift, but you know that you bought it by yourself. So when it comes that this thing revealed itself, it happens to be that although what the brother did was, he told his brother-in-law to say, actually, I bought a bag for your wife, but it wasn't my money. She actually wanted that bag. But she said to me, please buy that bag and send it to us. I really needed it. Let it be like a gift that you gave to me. If you are the brother, if you are the husband, and your brother-in-law said to you, this is what happened. Your wife needed this handbag. She said it's quite expensive, but she really needed it. But I'm going to buy it for her and send it to her as a gift. I didn't buy it. I tried to tell her, do you know what? If your husband don't want you to buy it, don't bother again. She insisted. But the only way for me to buy it is just when I bought it and then send it down to her house. But I did not actually buy it for her. It was her money. And your brother-in-law come to you, say this to you. When your wife started saying, oh, he's the best brother in town. He always looked after me. I don't know what I'm going to do without this brother. Oh, goodness. God bless him. And he was showing you, darling, see the bag that Chinedu bought for me. This is brilliant. I can't believe this. Let's pray for him. And the brother, the husband look at him, say, prayer? Okay, you lead the prayer then. That I'm shocked of words. If you are the brother, if you are the husband, and this particular things unveiled, you knew that it wasn't the brother sent it to him, how will you react? Tell me.
Okay, so welcome, Tasha. I can see, I think I saw Tasha. Yeah, welcome. Hope you are doing well. Okay, so this is common. It's not something that we don't see regularly. Things like this are even small cases. So the first question will be because you're asking me if I'm the husband, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's now like me in the situation. If I'm the husband to that lady, there are a lot. If it has not happened before, because there's a difference between if it is a regular occurrence in different styles and shapes, or if it is a one-off. If it is the first time I'm noticing that kind of thing, I would think that there is something I'm doing wrong. So I'm not going to stamp on it, but I will look into myself and look at what was I doing that can warrant this kind of situation, because there is no way. People don't enter into marriage to act like that. They enter the first month, although there are a few people that enter with dishonesty, they plan it. But most people, when they get in, they plan that it's going to be all rosy, everybody loving and happy. So for that to happen, I will be looking into myself first to know where did something go wrong? Why will she think that she has to go behind me to do something? And I repeat that if it has not been happening, because if someone is adamant, then the reaction will be different. But if it's the first time, I will really worry about how I am leading her in that marriage or relationship as the head, as the man. Am I leading well? Am I being too stingy? Am I being so irrational? Am I being unreasonable as regards to her needs? So the things, I will go back to conversations about the bag, if I remember it, and
Yes.
think, okay, so maybe it's not really okay that I denied that. And I think that nobody will one off just make decision if they have been denied access to money once. So, but let's just say it's the first time. As a man, I'll be wondering, maybe this didn't sit well with her. How can I change this situation? What can I do differently the next time? Because obviously I'm the leader here. And if I am not leading, then she could have used her money as she liked and not have to go around to cover up. It's because she is treating the man as the head and trying to give those ones I call fake respect. because once you start being dishonest, there is no respect, there is no regard, as far as I'm concerned. You can't love people, respect them, and then cheat on them or lie or do secret things. I don't know, I don't think it is true. Although love is relative, as what they call love is, people interpret it differently. But I will believe that it's been happening. Maybe there are other things that she's thinking or believing, that the man is placing other things more important than her needs, and so she had to go out of her way to do something about it. I think it must have been a reaction to something other than, no, you can't buy it. And it depends on how it is answered. If the husband has said, okay, my darling, we can't afford a handbag now because of this and that, because of this project, because of this we have to do with money, because of this other one, so let's keep it till maybe the next salary comes, or in 3 months time, or maybe until we finish this one, so that we don't enter into financial stress.
Yeah.
I don't think that the woman will not understand. But if she didn't, let's say she's one of those people that want everything at the same time, then the man is still the one that will have to handle it, so that there is no friction in his relationship. But I believe that since the brother-in-law had told him that he is, and he hasn't actually broken the silence, that he was planning on handling it very well, so that it won't happen again, because it depends on her, on him. If there is available fund, nobody will be hiding to do things. Now normal people will not hide to do things. So that's what I would do if I'm the man. I will
Okay.
check myself and look at my leadership skills, and also how I regard my wife, how I regard her feelings, whether they are in order, or I'm being very casual about her feelings and needs. So, how many bags does she have? Is it that she doesn't have any, or that she wants an addition, before I will even bring up the issue or the topic of wait until this one and the other one is handled? Because there are situations where other things may have to wait for her needs to be met. And also, depending on the need, what it is. So that's what I would do as a man.
Thank you. That's a good one. Right. So that was a good response, because that was exactly what happened. He told the brother-in-law, actually, that I love what you did by telling me, but why can't you stop your sister from buying the bag? And he said, oh, I just can't stop him, but I thought you'll be the one to stop her from buying the bag. And the matter died that way. But it was a Gucci bag, which most women would like to have. Maybe someone have Gucci or Roberto Cavalli or the.
Sorry. Sorry, I think they are not seeing you. Tasha is asking where you are. I think she heard you, but not very well. So I think something is not right. Yes.
Okay, let's find out. Taja, can
Um,
you?
Tasha, please tell me if you can see him now. Can you see him? Ben, welcome. I think it's Ben. Can't see it properly. It's very tiny, but this is how he holds his hand up to his mouth. I think it's Ben. Hello, Ben. Welcome.
Okay, well, what can I do? I'm not sure if that's still seeing me
I
now.
don't know. I'm waiting for someone to tell me if they can see you. Maybe there's something I didn't do right. Hmm.
Right,
No,
we could
they
just
can't see
conclude.
you.
They
They
can't see
can't
me.
see you. Can you hear him, Tasha? Even if they hear you, I don't know.
Okay, let's find out. Why? I don't know.
Your camera is on here, but
you can see me from your end, Chi. Maybe there might be settings you need to make for other people to see me from your
okay.
end.
So no, he is not here. He is not right here. But in the house, I don't. He's not near me. They can hear you a little, but they can't see you. So it means our recording is not going okay.
Okay, what we do? Let's just round it up now and see what it looks like.
No, it's not. It's they can't see you. I don't know why. I guess that you may have to come down.
Okay, we end it now then.
For you.
Okay.
Yeah, we still have a few minutes, maybe. If you hurry, we might just do a bit of justice to this life.
So I'll leave now. I'm coming down. Click to leave.
You can go off.
Okay then.
I don't know what happened, but I'll look into it. Sorry guys about that. We are still learning. So sorry. I think he's gonna just come and join me. So let's see if we can capture him. Okay, let's see if you can get into the video. You are here. This one can be like this, but what about this one? This one is not getting all of us. If you get closer. Oh. You have to bring in your head in, and I will do the same. Okay, maybe.
It can be nice.
Well, we are going to just finish the live. What can we do now?
Let's carry on. You can finish it and then.
Okay, so here he is. The flesh.
Flesh and life.
Okay, all right. You have seen him. So let's carry on. What were we talking about?
We're talking about the situation whereby somebody who decided to buy a Roberto Cavalli handbag and send his brother money to buy it.
Okay.
Originally, he was meant to buy it from their own family money. The husband said, "No, you can't buy it. We don't have savings for now. But she has the money to buy it. She now give the brother the money to buy it, and the brother said to the husband, "Actually, that present I brought your wife, she gave me money to buy it for her, although she said we wouldn't like her to buy it for now." So, and I was asking, if that happens, how would you react? You've told me how would you react.
Yeah, it's more of a relational problem than it is with buying a bag or not buying a bag or money to buy it. Because I think that if the lady didn't think that they have as a family enough money to buy the bag, I don't think she will ask for money to buy a bag. And so if she believes, based on the information she has or what she knows, that they can actually afford for her to buy a bag, why is she not getting a bag? That will be the question. Now, there may be a number of things that can make that happen. Like I have given in my example, it could be there is a project that they already have that needed completion. It may be that something came up. It could be a breakdown of a car. It can be an emergency, and they needed to do that. Now, the question will be, if there is, for instance, an emergency that would take the money for the bag, and the lady is still wanting a bag, what do you think is happening here? already there is a relational problem going on.
There's a designer bag.
Yeah.
She have not had designer bag in her life. She wants to just buy designer bag before she kaput.
Yeah, but it depends on, let's say that she buys a designer bag and they now have to go on foot. Is that what she's thinking? Nobody would do that to
You
themselves.
can put the bag on the ground and walk on it. That would be a designer walk.
Let's be serious. Nobody is going to say, I buy a bag and then put the handbag and be walking and trekking because the car is broken down. It can only mean one thing, that someone is putting the burden of financial responsibility, think that it belongs to someone else and that it's not their problem. It can only be from the side of the woman I'm talking now. If that happens, that there is really a genuine need that needed the finance, and the man is thinking of that, like the common interest of the family, and someone is thinking of their own needs only, that's selfishness. And it only happens when people are not committed and being responsible. And what can make a person not be committed? Because originally, or something happened along the line, they are no longer interested in that relationship as they were before, or they really don't care about it. And there are a lot of homes where one party or the other is not caring about the welfare or the interests of that family. So they are only concerned about their own personal interest.
Have you heard about dream come true before? Dream come true before. For her, it might be a dream come true.
And that's what I'm saying. Nobody punishes themselves.
Okay.
If you buy a bag and now have to walk to work, trek to work, you are punishing yourself. Why will anybody want to take care of smaller needs than the immediate and more pressing ones? People don't normally do that. If it is that maybe they put their money together, they manage their money together, or that they are really together in that marriage and thinking of the common interest, I don't think she will want a bag before fixing a car. If that's the only car they have as a family, she won't do that. So this is a result of people living separate lives, even though they are in a relationship, in a marriage. Some people are married, but they are living separate and individual lives. And that's a problem. That's a big problem. And when it's happening, people will have to step back and ask themselves, why is this happening? What went wrong? What can I do to make it better? Is there something that I'm doing that this other person is interpreting to mean that they have to take care of themselves by themselves because the other person doesn't care? Or is it something about their personality, about their character and attitude? All of that need to be worked out. Until then, you really can't say. Because naturally, like the video that I made in July last year, women are willing to submit until there is nothing pushing them to submit. If a woman have to take care of herself all by herself, then to her, it looks like, to many women, it looks to them like, well, they have no leader if they have to lead themselves. So it will be very challenging for the leader to keep expecting the leadership position when they are not leading well.
Okay. Now, how do you exactly remember the month you made it? So it must be a video in your heart, June.
Yes, because I attended a wedding on the day I made it. So I know it was in July.
All right. So
I think July or August.
So Taja, if you ask, I would say, what if you say it's not a dream come true, what you see as dream might be to have a 2-bedroom flat. And me, I don't think 2-bedroom flat is a dream. I could think my dream might be to own the whole street. For you, it's a dream. That 2-bedroom flat is a dream. But for me, different thing is dream. I think for her, it's a dream come true because she has ever wondered, when will she ever carry a Gucci handbag? And it happens that she had the opportunity to carry it now. Anything can wait as long as she had that handbag, because that is her own dream. For me, I would believe that it's a dream come true. Although you believe it's a shallow outlook on life, how shallow things are depends on who is putting leg there. If you're a tall person, things that look shallow to you might not be as shallow as somebody who is short. So I would still say it's a dream come true for her because she believes this is it's, have you heard about the thing? It's one life, live it. What about if or she didn't have time to have that Gucci handbag again, or something else might come and take that money away from her? She wouldn't have the opportunity to buy the Gucci handbag. Then she'll be crying all her life in the grave, saying, "Oh, I didn't carry Gucci handbag." Then she has the opportunity to carry a Gucci handbag, and the spouse say to her, you can't carry that Gucci handbag because we are not ready for it now."
What if she goes out with the bag to form and then rain catches up with her because she has no car to go to that occasion? What if she's drained with the same bag and the bag is full of water? Will she still continue the journey or go back? What has she achieved?
Of course, it is called aggrandizement. From her, that moment she carries that bag, she is on top of the world. Anything can happen. Snow can fall, hurricane can come. She has carried that handbag. And anything, even if the rain is falling, she put the handbag on her head to use the umbrella. She has carried the handbag. That is what her passion. Every other thing may not matter. Don't just say dreams are relative, but if you get what you want with negative consequence, can we see it as a dream come true?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
If you get
it, and then you now, so maybe you solved one problem, but you've created 10 problems. So who does that to themselves? I don't think many people would do that. But in any case, if these kind of things are happening, it is the reason we are here saying, don't do that this 2025. Don't live separate lives. Don't go behind your spouse to manage money. Don't go behind your spouse to buy things. Don't run your financial life alone if you are already coupled up. It will not work. That's what we are saying. Many that has done it, they didn't go too far in growth, in financial growth. They didn't go too far in meeting up with their financial needs. There's always a gap. They could have done better if they are handling it together, managing their resources together, than when they handle it separately. Most people could have gone financially too far and make a lot of investments and achieved a lot of goals, financial goals. Most people would have made great financial impacts into the lives of people, but they couldn't. Most purposes in life could have been achieved and fulfilled, but for the fact that they are living separate lives in a relationship. So anyhow you go about it, there's really no kind of much benefit to it. I know that in some cases it will be a husband and a wife will have that agreement. If it suits them, that's fine, because if they agreed that nobody will be buying the bag in secret, they can still buy the bag because it's the money allocated to them or the money they are allowed to use, but they will not go to buy it in secret. So there are two different things, because different things works for different couples and families. We all know that in relationship there is no one size fitting all. Different things will work for different people depending on their circumstances, their mindsets, their temperaments, a lot of factors playing a part. But what we are saying is that the kind that people do what they like, how they like it, make their decisions, act on it without the consent or agreement of the other party is what we are talking about.
Thank you, Taja.
Don't do it.
If you want to buy Rolls Royce, I'll tell you where to buy Rolls Royce. If you buy Rolls Royce now and not care how you pay the loan, then, or you could buy a 5-bedroom house and not care about your children's future. Those are just examples Taja is giving. So,
Yeah.
so at the end of the day, if you buy those Rolls Royce, have you ever? Do you know that there are events? I'll tell you something, Taja. There are contracts you want to go and apply for, and when you want to go, the bidder, the highest bidder, is being examined by the type of car you drove in with, and while you are driving in, they saw this guy with a Rolls Royce pull in, and they saw this guy with Peugeot 207 like Chichi's car, Peugeot 207 that she went to go and wash and put water in the engine the car.
Not me. Oh.
So you drove in with a Peugeot 207 and somebody came with
Who cares anyway?
And somebody
it takes me out, brings me in. Whose problem is that?
I'm coming. What I'm saying exactly is this. So this mindset, a lot of people have this mindset because they believe they want to drive that particular car that's in vogue, and they don't care how they get the loans because there's a pressure of every church member is driving a 4x4. Every of their friends is driving a particular type of cars, and they think, okay, and to make it easy, this part of the world, if you have good credit rating, you can drive any car. The companies will give you the car for loan, free kind of loan, and you'll be paying. So if you don't think about how you'll be making the payment, just like Taja is saying, it means you drive that car to please people, and that doesn't make sense. Or you go for a 5-bedroom and saying, well, do you know what? I want to be counted among those who have got 5 bedrooms and don't bother about your children's future. It simply means you are doing wrong priorities, so they will call it. But
it is not just wrong priority. The person needs some behavioral checks. Yeah, because it's out of place. You don't have.
What is Rolls Royce? Royce.
So what they say is like your house is burning on fire and you are pursuing rats. That's what it looks like. You have a big problem and you are busy getting aggrandizement or whatever, gratification that is not okay. So when you finish, you now come and face all. I think I know from experience that this only happens when someone thinks that the other is there to help them, like it's kind of like using someone, because if you are running together, you don't buy a bag before certain needs are met. Because if everybody loves themselves, nobody will leave a higher need, a bigger need, and be solving a smaller one for any, because they know that all in all is going to come back to them. It's only when it has to go back to someone else that those kind of decisions are made. And that's what we are saying. Don't live like that this year. Make sure that you have conversations, sort past problems, and then start living as coupled. Where the reason you came together is to be one. You can't be together and still be living two separate lives. It does not promote progress in any way. It doesn't bring success in any way. You can think that is you're managing, but it's only but for a while, and then it will crash because it's not designed for it to be like that. That's not how marriage is designed. It's designed that the two people who have come together had become one. What affects the other affects the other, and that they are working together as a team. And they can divide responsibilities. So this person that will go and let's just say that is different from the scenario the story that you shared. But let's say the woman just woke up, went and bought the bag, and then there is a bigger need that they have in the house. Maybe the husband is thinking of how to solve it. And even if it is the husband's needs and he is stuck, the bag will wait until that is solved. Because how can she carry a bag and in the night the man is tossing on the bed and cannot sleep? What does that mean?
No, if the man doesn't feel like sleeping, if he put the bag close to his chest, close to the bed, this man will sleep because the bag will cool him off and he will sleep.
Okay, so
this is something Taja is saying. Taja said this woman could go and get a second-hand bag as well. if it was about the brand to show off. Nobody needs to know how she got it. Dream come true in this case, now Wahala. Right, now Wahala exactly with Tanja, as you said. But you know, most of the top quality things I have, I bought them from charity shops, right? There's a place called
I thought you were ashamed to say that.
No, I buy things from
Because
charity
you
shop.
post as if you
No.
want to say, you don't want to say.
Oh no! I do get good things from charity shops.
When you will buy them and they will be still with the label and everything
I could buy
intact.
some. Even the one that doesn't have label. There's a town in Oxfordshire called Bicester. For those who live along those areas, right? Some of the charity shops there, this is where you get designers. For those who are looking for designers at a cheap rate, I'm giving you the gist, a way to get them. Because in Bicester is a town, a little town. That's where they have all the designer shops. Every designer shop they live in Bicester. And some of the guys who live in Bicester are quite posh and rich, close to Oxford. So when they don't like them again, they put them to charity shop. And I've been in those charity shops there. I have top quality ones that I'm still wearing now. Even that'll be about 6 to 8 years, and they're still the same stuff. So, and nobody knows where I have them. Nobody knows where I got them, just like what Tanja is saying.
But
they're still okay.
No one, you know, when they are advertising the less weeks, they will say, no one will know. How can they know? No one will know. So no one will know.
And it's good
anyway,
one.
I guess that we have been talking about this woman, but we have not talked about the man. What is making a woman in a marriage to be cheating with money? What is the cause? And the way it happened is also showing that the woman still has that fake respect, kind of like, I don't want to offend him kind of respect going on. Otherwise, she could have gone to the shop and bought it and bring it home if it's not going to cause a problem. So if she had gone, the reason she didn't go is because if she buys it and comes home, it will cause a problem. And she didn't want him to know that she had gone to buy it because he has already told her not to buy it. So how is this man leading this woman? Is he a good leader? If he is, how many bags does his wife have? Before we start talking about where she could have gone to buy it, the man suggests that, okay, I'll get you the bag and go and find it and bring it home. And the woman said, no, it's not new. I'm not using it. I must buy a new one. And it must be a branded bag. All of those things are the things that anyone listening to us would like to know. So we don't have all the information. And if they are sitting before us now in counseling or in coaching, all of those informations will come out. And that's when we can give them the right direction. As of now, we don't have all the details. But what we are here to talk about today is the consequences of this kind of behavior, consequences of financial infidelity. Let's pause and think about how the husband will now be dealing with her when the issue of trust comes in that marriage, having done that behind him. And what really is the state of a marriage without trust? How far can it go if it's not quickly nipped in? So it's a huge consequence for people to be living separate lives, handling things, dealing with other people outside without the consent and agreement of their spouses. You must not always agree, but you have to place every card on the table. You have to talk about everything. If you didn't, that on its own is disrespect. It makes no sense. And if you think that they are not agreeing, but you think it's something good for the family, then you seek help at that point. There must be one person or the other that he reports to. There must be someone she reports to. That will be the time to talk to your mentors so that you can come to an agreement. So, but the other way, going behind, even involving someone else, that one is like higher disrespect. Because think of how her brother will now be looking at her husband, and how the husband will be feeling every time he is in the midst of her family. It's a mess. It should not be done at all. But if you're a man listening to this, make sure you take care of your wife so that you will get that food, which is respect. Because if you don't lead well, you will not have good followers. For you to be, get the respect of a leader, you must be leading well. Leading well includes making sure that her needs are met. No woman, I think, no normal woman will not be submissive and show respect when they are well taken care of. And we don't mean material things only, not the Gucci bag and the car and all that. I mean, some meet their emotional needs. Make sure that the things that are top on their values, or list of their values, things that makes the day for them, that you place importance on them. That woman will respect you, will honor you, and will submit to you, and do that looking up to you as a leader. So that's our message to the men today. Are there any other reason why people shouldn't do this year?
I think you could reserve that for next time because I want to look behind. Okay. What do you think?
We had some lapses. So I'm going to ship in one other thing.
Okay.
Another reason why especially money should not be handled separately, even if people have their own purses, because I'm an advocate that women must have their own money. But even if they have their own money, everything, like if you want to do a project, there is no need hiding it. That's not a license for you to now be living a separate life outside your marriage or living a secret life. Because one of the consequences of doing money secretly is that for a lot of people, it causes really the main infidelity that we hear about, which is sexual infidelity, because that requires money to fund. And most people that don't have access to fund, that cannot say, okay, this is what I use this 50 pounds to do, this is where I put this 100 pounds, they will zip up, they will close up. That's one of the main reasons that people keep, indulging in sexual infidelity, because they can afford it. They can afford the fuel to travel to that place. They can afford to pay for that hotel. They can afford to buy that person some presents. Because there is no much romance without money. So if they don't have private access to money that the other person doesn't know about, that romance outside will probably die quickly. So that's another reason that this should not be happening this year. If it has happened in the past, it's time to make corrections and start building trust again, because on the long run, it won't work. So we are going to wrap up right now on this note, and next week we are going to come up with more things that couples should not do this year if they are aiming to create amazing relationships and attain financial freedom. Things they shouldn't do. So that will be next week. I hope that we have learned one or two things. And thank you very much, everyone that joined us. Please do join us next week, Thursday, at 8 p.m. UK time for another edition of What You Shouldn't Do as a Couple this year, 2025.
Take note of this, what I just said now. It might be a topic for next week. Women do not submit nowadays due to lack of leaders or leadership skill. There is a lot of men who relax on women's independence, especially in Western world. So your next topic will be about women, how the behaviors most men do in Western world when it comes to this type of thing. So
Yeah.
take note of that.
Yeah, Taja will be here next week for us to talk
I think
about
Taja will
this.
lead that one.
Because,
You will lead that. All right.
Taja, you tell me if you are comfortable for us to give you an invite. Although I have to learn how to make that work, because I did that today and you couldn't see Uche. So I have to look at it or use another platform, But I would like us to join. I would like you to join us so that we can, shed more light on this, because yes, what you said is true. A lot of women are now independent, but mostly in a wrong way. So there will be reasons why they are doing that. I think for most cases that has come to me, the women are doing that because they didn't find leaders. Their husbands are not leading well. So they have practically handed the baton to the wives and still demanding respect as a leader. So when you have pushed the leadership position to someone and you are still demanding that you be respected as who you have relinquished to be, that's one of the things I see, or the way I can interpret it in my head as to what is happening with the stories and the experiences of people that I have seen. So we will talk about it.
Okay. She says she'll be available. We'll talk about it. You're giving her the answer already.
Okay, Tasha.
Thank you, Taja.
Thank you so very much. And thank you everyone for joining us. If you're watching the replay, please let us know where you are watching from, because we would really like to connect with you. So let us know who you are and where you are watching from. And thank you again for joining us and for watching. Thank you and have a very good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
This apple is juicy.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks very much, Taja, for joining us and for your contributions. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye and have a good night. This one. No, there. Okay.